What's up, skate fam? Welcome to Deez Skates. Today I've got a special episode for you that is super close to my heart, but before we dive in, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button to join the skate fam. Trust me, you won't want to miss the incredible skating adventures coming your way. It's now the end of 2023. In early June of this year, I decided it was finally time to fulfill a childhood dream of mine, and that dream is to learn ice figure skating. Growing up, I watched figure skating on the television all the time, and I wanted to be able to skate like the graceful athletes that I saw in those big competitions. However, I didn't have an opportunity back then, as my hometown only had a roller rink. Fast forward to now, living in a city with many ice rinks, and I took the plunge. First off, a disclaimer, I've been documenting my progress and posting a ton of the footage on Instagram, so a lot of these shots are vertical footage. Also, for those of you new to my channel, I'm not a beginner skater. I have been quad roller skating and inline skating since I was very young, and I've dabbled in ice skating here and there over the years, but always with hockey skates and never with enough consistency to build any sort of muscle memory or confidence on the ice. I began my journey by signing up for ice skating classes at a small rink in a mall near me. I wasn't sure where to start or where my skill level was, so I enrolled in an intermediate class. The coaches assessed my skills and placed me in a low-level freestyle class. So I guess a lot of my general abilities as far as the fundamentals of skating and how skating works, it transferred very well. I had already been testing the ice a few days prior on my figure skates, so maybe I had 2 or 3 sessions on them before I showed up for class. I did not feel confident or stable in them by any means. And when I watched experienced figure skaters around me that day, I could definitely see a difference in the way they skated versus how I was skating. It was pretty inspiring, and I wanted to be able to emulate the grace and control that I saw in them. At this rink, I worked with 3 different coaches. I had a coach for my main freestyle class. I signed up for a stroking class and took a few private lessons from that coach. And then I was out for a mild knee injury for a couple of weeks. I saw a sports medicine doctor who basically told me I needed to incorporate more physical therapy movements and stretching into my routine. And at that time, I was on the ice probably 4 days a week, and I was using a lot of muscles that I hadn't engaged in roller skates previously. So I suffered from overtraining, but the doctor cleared me to skate immediately, and I took some makeup classes with a different coach. At that point, I was maybe 6 weeks into my journey, and I felt like I was getting a lot of good perspective on where I needed to improve, but the space the classes were held in was kind of small. So I went to one of the larger rinks that's run by the Dallas Stars, which is in the US figure skating system, and I signed up for their class, which is called Learn to Skate USA. At the Dallas Star Center, I met my current coach, who is an experienced and very skilled ice dancer. Initially, I took group classes, but soon after, I hired her for private lessons on the weekends. Honestly, I took one class with her, and I knew she was who I wanted to be working with. When she explained things, they just made sense. I found some things that I had struggled with in the past that I was really quickly able to overcome just in that first lesson. And if you follow my work that I've done in roller and inline skating on this channel, you know I try to have a very technical and detail-oriented approach to skating. When I teach roller skating, I think about all the details I can, especially related to picking out and isolating individual movements. So basically just the practice of approaching one correction at a time and then working that correction into my muscle memory. I found my coach had a very similar approach, and so we just kind of clicked on that mode of thinking. And that's when things started to really click for me, and I felt a sense of direction in my learning journey. I became more interested in ice dance, which involves more footwork and doesn't really have the jumps like you would see in freestyle skating. Not that I didn't want to learn the jumps. I've been very much enjoying learning the jumps, but you know, my personal skill resides in footwork, and of course, coming into a new type of skating where I'm not feeling very confident, just being able to focus on the footwork and the dance element of it and feeling like I was a little more in control maybe than I was. It was really a positive experience. It helped me a lot to approach it from that route. So ice dance has been very fun. It's now December and I've been training with her since late July, I think, and you'll see the results toward the end of the video and why I'm pleased with where I'm at now. But my journey wasn't without its challenges. Transitioning from roller and inline skates was tricky, and regular physical therapy, slowing down both mentally and physically, proved to be a crucial lesson. I discovered that taking time to understand the mechanics of each skill made me more confident and polished in my execution. Thinking about the simplest things like the extension in my stride, it really helped me to gain confidence in what I was doing. And the details, oh my God. Figure skaters pay attention to the most intricate details in body mechanics like I've never experienced in any other skating discipline that I've dabbled in. The angle of the arms, the tension in my chest and my shoulders, whether one hip is higher than the other, keeping my chest pushed forward and not allowing my back to be rounded. There's so much to consider, and it's been humbling even with my background in other skating disciplines. Ice skating just works differently, and building a strong foundation requires patience and dedication. In roller and inline skates, no matter what, you always have surface contact and friction. And while I won't say the upper body doesn't matter, because it definitely does, it matters a lot on the ice. The ice is a lot less forgiving of your bad habits in your upper body posture than inline and roller skates are. When I started, I was using a pair of Jackson Freestyle skates, which has a pretty thick 4mm blade and an 8-foot rocker. And currently I've upgraded to a pair of Wristport dance skates, which has a deeper 7-foot rocker and a thinner 3mm blade. Drew from City Blades is actually the reason why I have these awesome skates. So thank you so much to Drew. You are the man. If you guys are not familiar with City Blades, make sure to scroll down into the description and click the link to his channel so you can check out all the stuff that he does. He's also has some experience with ice dance. He's an inline skater. I've done work with him, collaborating with the Endless Blading Company before. Very knowledgeable, great dude. Go check his channel out. And for freestyle, I have another pair of Wristport freestyle skates that have a thickness in the blade that's between 3 and 4mm, but it also has a 7-foot rocker. No matter what blade you're using, the ice blade has a concave shape to it. So when you're standing straight up and down and your blade is flat, you actually have the least amount of surface contact versus an inline skate where the wheels are convex and are actually flattening a little bit under your weight. So changing from a thick, less rockered blade to a thinner blade with a deeper rocker made changing from edge to edge and holding that edge a more manageable task. But the point still stands that you have space in the middle of the blade where you've got virtually no friction or grip. When you're in that dead space in the middle of the blade, any little mistake in your posture or your upper body movement can cause you to rotate out of your direction and get stuck on the flat. And you can find yourself unable to get back into that edge again, which on the ice, the edges are where you want to be. It's where you want to live, because you have the most grip when you're over on the edge versus when your blade is perfectly flat. And of course, the biggest thing for me has really been repetition, right? Figure skating has so many elements that I'm unfamiliar with. So when I learn a new skill, I'm really breaking down anywhere from 5 to 10 different elements while I'm trying to execute the skill. This is a clip of me learning the sow cow. I actually took more attempts than I'm showing you here, But you can see that I make an attempt and then I try to make one change. And I do that over and over until I finally get enough parts of the jump working that I can execute a takeoff and a landing and make it at least appear that I kind of know what I'm doing. Basically, everything I've learned has been just like this, just like what you see here. A series of corrections combined with repetition and the willingness to fail at the execution a few hundred times before I get it right. Despite the challenges, this has been the most positive skating journey of my entire life. 2023 has brought me a newfound connection with skating, awakening my creativity in ways that I really never expected. I find that my roller and inline skating has also changed drastically. I feel more in control than I've ever been before, and of course, it makes me feel more confident as a skater. So looking ahead, as I gear up to take my first test in front of a US figure skating judge panel, I'm excited about the prospect of entering competitive figure skating in the coming year. But like any challenge, I need to prove myself. And in this case, I have to prove myself through testing before I am allowed to compete at the level I'm currently able to skate. In the end, this experience has been very humbling. Having the resources available to me that the ice skating world provides, from coaching to literature on basic skating moves and dances, has been incredible. And I feel like just in these past 6 months, I've matched the amount of growth that the prior 3 years of skating took me to learn on my own. And there's a great adult skating community in all of the figure skating organizations, which just goes to show that you're never too old to get into any of this. I've made so many friends with adult figure skaters who never started their skating journey until like mid to even late adulthood. And a lot of them, they're incredible skaters. It's truly inspiring to see how far some of these people have come in such a short amount of time, and really is a testament to how important having more coaching resources really is in the skating world. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me on my incredible journey, Skate Fam. If you enjoyed this video, do not forget to give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell so you never miss a Skate-tastic update. Obviously, going forward, there's going to be a lot more ice skating content since that has kind of become my main squeeze here. So thank you so much for tuning in to hear about this exciting part of my life, and I will see you the next time I lace up.